All right. So these are the games that have been called to the principal's offices. We're talking about the top 5 disappointing Kickstarter games.
And I am Chris from Deus Ex Machina.
And I am Dave from Rampant Wolf Games. And these games are getting an F.
I think a couple get a D. D minus. Still failing grade.
Yeah. It's not good.
So let's see. These are games that are not so bad that they're good. They're so bad that they're bad.
Yeah.
Well, I will state personally that I don't think any of these games are awful. I have played awful games. If I was to make the list of the top 5 worst games ever, period, these games wouldn't necessarily be on my list. For one, I haven't played all of them.
One of them would be on it.
Oh, yeah. I think one of them would be on it. But intentionally, I would say that I have played games that are so gloriously awful. But they weren't on Kickstarter, which makes it sometimes worse. Because they're a retail game done by a big company. You think they'd know better. But these are specifically going to games that are Kickstarter games. And these are games that are either on Kickstarter initially. They might have gone to retail. But these are games that were originally backed on Kickstarter.
Correct.
So, number 5 is not going to... It's going to start this list off right. By saying a game called Bears vs. Babies. Now, Exploding Kittens, Bears vs. Babies... You know, these games aren't necessarily awful. They look pretty. They're funny. But they are wafer thin. They are wafer thin lacquer on porous wood pulp. They look pretty. Their mechanics are just atrocious. Bears vs. Babies is by the first one. I don't care for Exploding Kittens either. But Bears vs. Babies... Other people have done games that are way better using the same mechanics, but this one got a crap ton of money simply because of the person who's doing the art style. He didn't design the game. I want to tell him, like, dude, you're a great artist, but please hire some game designers because these games are awful. Bears vs. Babies does not have enough mechanics to make it work, make it make sense. You can't play the game in the way it wants to be played because it doesn't give you enough cards. Or enough incentive to build monsters. You build 3 limbs and then you go at it because there's not enough babies in the deck. And not enough bad babies in the deck. There's not enough stuff. The game is just completely vapid. That's number 5. Bears vs. Babies.
Alright. Coming in at number 4, disappointing Kickstarter games, is Titan Dice.
Go for that popcorn.
I had to take a break on that one because just... The game wants to do something, but you don't know what it is it wants to do.
Corn.
There are points in the manual where it says...
I'm not... Where is this game in here?
Where is... Because it's in the Shelf of Shame.
Like, literally where?
It's in between Harry Potter and...
Like, I literally don't even... I've never seen... This is like... It's like the Loch Ness.
Yeah.
The Titan Dice just rises up from the like literally, he has it on a shelf that's designed in such a way that you cannot read the... Like, you're embarrassed to own it.
I'm embarrassed to own this game. It was touted as...
Touted?
A good game about mythological creatures and capturing them, but there's points in the game where they use the same terminology for different things. And it's like, what? It's basically bad Yahtzee.
And Yahtzee's not that great.
You know, and that's... I've played this game 3 or 4 times now. And
really?
I played it... Yeah. I've played it with another group of people to see if we were playing it wrong. We played it and they're just like, no, we got to try that again. Something just... And we played it a second time and they're just like...
Are we doing this wrong?
Right into the circular recycling bin. Like, oh. So that was number 4, Titan Dice.
No, it gets worse from here.
It does.
Number 3 for disappointing Kickstarters is a game called Master of the Galaxy. Now, you might find this game in retail shelves, but it did start as a Kickstarter game. Now, you might have already known that this game isn't very good, but I'll pass it off to my co-host, who will rant as I drink some water.
Cubes!
Cubes, you say? This is the first time I've heard this. Really? That's what's wrong with this game? Is it? Really? Is it just cubes?
This game tries to make it feel like you're
I
exploring...
wanted to do a spit tape, then I realized I would hit something I probably shouldn't. Because I was like, cubes! Oh, crap, I just spit on your dog. Sorry.
You know, it tries to make it feel like you're exploring a galaxy, but here's the thing. It even touts itself as a 4X game. But you see the entire board. So what are you exploring? Maybe the depths of stupidity of the designer? But anyways,
Tell us what you really think.
you're using cubes to build space lanes, colonize planets. They're
Little did you know that in the actual real future, there'll be these giant cubes in space.
unless they're Borg, I don't care. Cubes. The game tries to make it's a mess. The game is a mess.
Is the game a mess?
It is. It tries to do so much
First time I'm hearing this.
without actually trying to do it. It's just there's like, okay, let's do this idea, and it was like the person had ADD. They started forming the mechanic, and then they're just like, oh wait, I gotta work on this other mechanic, and then they left it because you just bag building and you can't mitigate it, and it's, oh my god.
Nemesis has bag building.
No, this is bad because
it's a bad bag building.
you put out a cube and you get to take 2 and put them in your bag, maybe. So really, you're +1 cube. It's stupid.
It's not just stupid. It's stupid.
So that was number 3, Master of the Galaxy. Don't play this game, and if you don't believe me, watch Tom Vassal's review on it. Trust me, it's bad.
It gets worse than this, folks.
Number 2 for most disappointing Kickstarters is Walking Dead No Sanctuary by
Somebody.
Cryptozoic Games.
Cryptozoic made this?
Cryptozoic made it, I'm pretty sure.
I should know better.
Yeah, it should. But anyways, the minis in this game don't look like the characters in the show at all. You can tell that Carl is Carl because... No, actually, you can't tell Carl's Carl. That's the joke. You can tell Rick is Rick because of the cowboy hat. You can tell Morgan is Morgan
Carl has
because...
a cowboy hat.
Exactly. That's the whole point.
Okay. Is he a shorter Carl?
No. And then Morgan has... Well, he's got a bent stick. The rule book sucks. It is horrible. And when you get asked about your rule book and your response is, well, we posted facts and fixes to it on our website, great, but I've already got your product, and why didn't you fix the rule book before you gave it to me?
Once again, a situation where a rule book curses a game.
Play test your games, and then make sure the rule book matches it. Like, it's not that hard. So that was number 2, Walking Dead No Sanctuary.
So the number 1 most disappointing Kickstarter game, and this is a unison from both him and me, is a game you might have heard of called Who Goes There? Now, Who Goes There is based off of the franchise The Thing. It couldn't use the franchise's name because that was bought off by another company that put out the better game, Thing Infection Outpost 31.
You know what? Just buy that game.
Just buy this game. Now, it should be noted that The Thing Infection Outpost 31 is not perfect. It has its flaws. Its game design is, let's be honest, it rips off 2 or 3 other games. Resistance, a bunch of others.
But it does it well.
But the important thing is, it rips off mechanics that work. And if you're going to rip off mechanics, might as well use mechanics that work. I would rather you rip off mechanics that work than then create new mechanics that don't. Mm-hmm. Now, I have no problem with the fact that Who Goes There allows you to build a shotgun from apparently a flare, a knife, and some bandages. I'm being facetious, of course. But that, yeah, you can. You can have a knife and then make an axe. But the point is, you can do so in a surprisingly short amount of time. And as a survival game, I think it's solid. It looks good. It has a really neat survival mechanic.
Yep.
Then
I like the crafting system.
The crafting system is fun.
Cool.
I love the tray. Everything, the reason why it's disappointing isn't because it sucked and got worse. It was because it had such lofty goals to reach and was stratospherically high in production design and in overall production and presentation. But then to saddle it with one of the most inane and asinine, non-existent betrayal mechanics that you couldn't use, that made the game broken. And then to make matters worse, they doubled down on the mechanic and twisted the game's own, the IP, twisted the IP's own thematic ties to make a single mechanic work rather than realize it didn't work and then fix the system.
If you want a metaphor, it's like building a yacht, putting an electric canoe motor on it, and actually having some place to go.
What?
Because it looks pretty, but it doesn't go anywhere, but you gotta get somewhere.
It's too random. It's got too many random variables that you can't mitigate.
Yeah.
And then it has a thing mechanic, which once again is done simpler but better in the other game. It's all because of the fact that they wanted you to infect another player, but then couldn't allow that single player to infect the entire group. They couldn't let that to happen, so they twisted and pretzeled the entire game into doing something it wasn't supposed to do. It is not a fun game. It's too hard already before you add the betrayal mechanic, and the betrayal mechanic makes it virtually impossible. You have to homebrew this game to make it work, and I'm disappointed and shocked that this made it through the game design phase. And if you know the creators and you've seen the other games that they've made, you know, and I'll state this emphatically on a stack of carpet samples, they don't do enough playtesting of their game. There's a game designer in there who has an idea and he doesn't let anyone else tell him otherwise. This has to stop. Test your games. Didn't you say that less than 3 minutes ago?
I did.
Test your games. One of the biggest things with Kickstarters right now, we don't think there's enough testing.
No, they're trying to get their games to market, and they're not testing them enough.
They care about their miniatures. They care about their presentation. They're not testing the game enough. You know, I'll crap on Awaken Realms. Their testing list is high, and they took heat when they said, oh, look, turns out these rules aren't working. We're throwing these mechanics out, so we're not including these tokens. People got angry. Hey, we want ammo tokens. They're like, it doesn't make any sense. The game mechanics don't fit the bill. We're changing the system, so there's no point in having them. Yeah. I applaud that they're willing to change their rules, even to the point of getting people upset. It's still not a great game, but at least they're willing to try. That's my number one, our number one, for most disappointing Kickstarter game.
Who goes there?
Who goes there?
All right. I've been Dave.
And I have not been Dave.
And remember, the rules are just a suggestion. Play the game how you would like to play it, or at least make some rules that come close to how you want your game played, maybe? Just a little bit.
I was going to say, play the game you want to play it, especially when the rules included don't make any sense.